you left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto. My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode slash... I'm sorry, it's not an episode. I had it in my brain. Welcome to another issue of Two Fat Guys Pull List, issue number 85, Legacy 85. So I think what we're gonna do is when we get into 2023, we're gonna start the numbering over again.
Oh yeah.
But then we can do Legacy, right?
Yeah,
so like issue number 1, Legacy, whatever.
We should
And
change the color scheme then too.
Yeah, but very slightly.
Like the most minor of changes, and be like, well, since we made this change, now it's got to be a
It's gotta be issue number 1. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Same team, same creative team, same artists, the whole shebang. Just a zigzag between pull list or something. You know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah. So welcome to issue number 85, episode 85. You know, we're gonna review the books for April 20th. It's a bit of a small show. You know, we've got 7 issues, but next week is heavy, and be prepared. It's going to be a heavy hitter one. It's going to be a long, I won't say long, but you know, there will be some honorable mentions going on next week.
Yeah,
sure.
there's like 4 oversized issues, I think, and then we've got 2 parts of Shadow War, Death of the Justice League.
I feel like there's a lot of DC next week, more DC than Marvel, if I'm not mistaken. But we're talking about this week, so let's talk about this week.
We'll stay with this week.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about, you know, we always do take care of some business as usual before we start the show. But while I'm going off on my business rant, everyone that's here on the live chat, and if you're watching this as a past episode, let us know what you read this week and what was your pick of the week. So let us know in the chat, or let us know in the comments if you're watching this as a past episode, what was your pick of the week for this week of comics. So let's hit the business side of the show, or of the issue. And first, we're going to talk about our Two Fat Guys Pull List premium upgrade and upgrade with BradyComics.com. Collected Comics and Games is our sponsor. I'm like all over it. Whoops. Hold on, I am not ready. Dang it!
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's been thrown. Where's my?
Fire him.
Because I hit it and you were in the internet capture. Oh, it's so lazy. Give me a sec. This one? Yeah, there we go. Okay, boink. Anyway,
it is.
Collected Comics and Games has a website called BrainyComics.com. You can head over there and buy all of your comics, exclusive variants, bundles, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys, collectibles, and so much more. Trading cards. You can get trading cards over there as well. But as you're doing your shopping, you can head over there after you put everything in your cart and type in Two Fat Guys Pull List in the search bar, and 2 upgrades will pop up on your screen. One is the Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade, which gets you 1 mystery exclusive cover comic for $8, or if you do the premium, which is $15, you get 2 mystery exclusive variants in your cart as well, or when you end up getting your comics mailed to you. So you're probably asking, well, you know, what do the covers look like? Well, if you go into store exclusives or the front page, you can look at a plethora of covers, and I want to point out one right here. It's the Something's Killing the Children issue number 21 exclusive cover set by John Glang, I think is his name. That thing looks sick. And then we got we got Rogue Sun, a Captain Carter, a Gwen, Spider-Gwen or Gwenverse. I know there's a Moon Knight one, a Silver Surfer, Ghost Rider, all kinds of different variant covers that you can get potentially if you put in the Two Fat Guys Pool List upgrade or premium upgrade in your cart before checkout. So head on over to BradyComics.com, buy some comics, buy something from BradyComics.com, and then put in this upgrade in your cart, and you will get an exclusive cover guaranteed. It will be a mystery exclusive, so that's the fun part about it. So that is that for that part of the show. Also, we are, as you know, in the middle of a subscriber giveaway or a sub giveaway where we're trying to hit 650 subscribers. We're currently at 623, so we're inching closer and closer to that 650 goal. So if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, give us a like, and comment in chat or comment in the comment section if you're watching this as a past episode. Every form of interaction with our videos helps us, and we do it because all of y'all are watching, and we want to talk about comics and grow the community and continue to push comic books as a medium for people to get into and enjoy, because it is a form of reading. Some people think it's just a picture book, but it is. You do generate some brain function when you do read comics, so make sure to push that kind of message out as well. So at 650 subscribers, I know y'all know we're giving away this guy. 9.8 CBCS graded Daredevil #2, second printing, first appearance of Elektra as Daredevil. And then the big one, and we get comments all the time because we've got a video circulating about what we're giving away at 1,000 subscribers, and that is the CBCS 9.8 graded Amazing Spider-Man issue #4, the first appearance of Silk. We want to give this away. This book is getting hotter and hotter by the minute. Yes, we do.
We do?
Well, you're not giving it away. I'm giving it away. I'm the one that bought it.
That's
anyway,
my point. That's exactly my point.
We're gonna give it away. We made a statement. We made a promise. This is what we're giving away at 1,000 subscribers, and people are like, "Man, that's a hot book. Are you sure you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yes, Nate. We want to give it away." So, please, if you are already subscribed, and you know people that are into comics that aren't subscribed to our show, don't even know about us, make sure to push out our show. Let them know we're giving away slabs every 150 subscribers for the big one at 1,000. So we greatly appreciate it. Let's get into this week. And we are kicking off the show like we always do with our X-Books. And we have one X-Book this week, and it is not named properly. Nate, what would you call this book?
Oh, this is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wolverine, issue number 20.
Hold on, though. Before we move on, I just want to address chat really quick.
Gotcha.
Because Patty told us what his pick of the week was. World's Finest. So he said that was a silly goose time, which I love that description.
Yeah, I agree.
Average Joe asked, when approaching a beefy week, what is your strategy on staying in the reading zone? Mine is I try to break my comics down into subsections. So X-Books is always one for us. And then if I have Marvel books, I'll break them down in whatever makes sense. No more than 3 or 4 issues in a stack. And I will spread out my stacks, even if I have to have 5 or 6, and tell myself as long as I get one stack done in a day, I'll feel good. But usually I'll move on to a second stack. But putting them in little small chunks of thematically themed or thematically tied usually helps me stay on track in it, because I can go, oh, you know what? I've got 3 cosmic issues this week, and that sounds great. So I'll go pick up the cosmics. Or
I'd probably say the same thing. I usually just do Marvel, DC independence, but if it's like a 24 or 26 week, then I go into like, all right, X-Books, Avengers-esque, cosmic, and then just go from there within the publishing group. So I agree with that. Cosmic Joe also says Captain America issue 0 was his favorite art of the year, and Stefan says Mephisto double splash page was my pick of the week. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we will. But let's jump right.
Captain America, though.
No, and I don't. Joe, let us know who was the artist on that, because I feel like was it RB Silva, or did he just do the covers?
Just the covers.
Okay.
He's doing the book. He's doing the Sam Wilson book, interiors.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So Wolverine issue number 20, aka Deadpool and Wolverine. Finally, we get Benjamin Percy writing a character that doesn't have daddy issues, or at least they're not present within his writing. That was my biggest fear for this book, which is, you know, with Wolverine, it's always like, I'm a drunk, I don't remember my history, I'm the dad that never leaves but I left, and like, I'm done, right? And I feel like the direction we got, in this book was perfect. You know, like, I've always, you know, I don't know if it was a Jonathan Hickman thing or if nobody just really cared to use Deadpool. I know Kelly Thompson was writing a Deadpool book and then it went away, like it got canceled, but there was a good year and a half of him just not existing in the X books outside of like little cameos here and there of him trying to break in. And it finally feels like we're like, no, we need to get Deadpool involved in Krakoa. And I think it's vital because he's such a fourth wall breaking, comedic breaking character. And I think we're about to get into some heavy shit within the Destiny of X.
Yes. I was not excited about this book. I actually only picked it up initially because I had already committed to the pre-order and was just like, I'm not going to mess with it right now. But I'm very happy with how good this book was. One, I think one of the strongest parts of this book has been Adam Kubert's art, which for the most part he has been, I think of the 20 books so far, he's probably been on like 14 of them, so a pretty hefty amount. But yeah, this book was a lot of fun. Like, it didn't feel like it necessarily had to be part of the Krakoa storyline so much as like the Wolverine storyline.
Yeah.
And I'm actually okay with like what parts we were reintroducing. This does feel too X-Force adjacent though.
Well, I have a theory about that.
Okay.
So in solicitations for July, Deadpool is formally announced in X-Force. Like, he's finally showing up in X-Force. So I think we're getting at least 3 issues, including this one of Deadpool. Maybe no, 4. Maybe it's 4 issues of Deadpool being in the Wolverine book. And I think that's to guide him into X-Force. At least that's my theory. Because what we're dealing with in this book feels like a very X-Force problem. And I think it's gonna get out of hand. It's gonna get out of hand for Wolverine, which usually he doesn't, you know, he can kind of take care of shit himself, right? He's the certified badass of Krakoa. Like, whenever you have a legit, I mean, he survived the end of the world and was sent back as a Phalanx Terminator to come after Moira, you know? So, like, the dude's legit, but I think what's about to happen is going to get out of hand for him, and I think adding Deadpool in only makes sense because I think it's a character that's eager. Like, everybody wants Deadpool. Everybody wants Deadpool in comics. Everybody wants Deadpool in the MCU. I mean, left and right, any new movie, any new show is like, hey, will Deadpool show up? Right. You know, because he breaks the fourth wall and he's so comedic, and we love, like, he's just a good character to kind of lighten the mood. And so with this whole, like, and I don't know what the organization is, but we've got, you know, essentially Logan going after to find his severed hand that was in an auction in a previous issue. And now we have Cyborg X-Men, you know, being run by some phantom group, and Deadpool is trying to get ahead of it so that he can get back into X-Force, essentially. And I love it. And then just the fourth wall breaking in this issue, even him, that page, that data page where he's like, anything that gets written here is canon, right? And so he essentially says, like, this is my book. I'm the best mutant. I'm an Omega level mutant. Wolverine sucks. Like, it was awesome. I think this book was sorely needed for the other books that aren't so weighted in pushing the narrative forward, right? Not that I don't enjoy Immortal X-Men. I'm digging it. I love X-Men Red. I cannot wait to read Knights of X. X-Force and Wolverine are the ones that are kind of like on the side that, you know, at any waking moment they could be dropped, right? Yeah. And so I think this is sorely needed, and for him to be introduced in July in X-Force, I'm about it. Now, Wolverine, for me, may get dropped after Deadpool leaves Wolverine, because I'm almost guaranteed we'll get back to, I'm Logan, no one can trust me, where's my whiskey? Like, so, I don't know.
Yeah. We also had a little tease of a possible new baddie in the very back as well. So, it's another aspect of the book as well. We'll see if it looks like it's a robot, but we'll see if the character is interesting. Maybe could not be, but
I mean, it makes sense with the way Orcus is moving with AI and, how we know it's supposed to end. So, Grayson says, about time Wolverine title lightened up a bit. I totally agree. Joe says, this is my first time jumping on in Wolverine. Deadpool stole the show. Comedic timing was perfect along with the action. Stefan, Astonishing X-Men was my first comic introduction to the X-Men. It was cool to see Danger at the end. So that's
that someone from?
I think it's a legit character.
Nice.
So we're noobs.
I did not recognize that person.
Well, either way, it was a good book, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 to 4 issues of Wolverine, and then we can reset it and figure out if we're going to keep reading it or not. But it's good to know that Benjamin Percy can write a character that doesn't currently have daddy issues, or at least they're not present, right? Or not daddy issues, just woe is me. Like Deadpool is the definition of a silly goose time, and that's what it is.
Good.
So
I agree. I enjoyed it.
All right, moving on. We've got Avengers issue number 55 from Jason Aaron. Judgment Day is coming, but it doesn't quite feel like it. Ooh, that's a good looking cover. So y'all, chat, and anyone that's watching this as a past episode, obviously we're not privy to a conversation that me and Nate had where I went on a gigantic rant about Avengers, because I genuinely like the Avengers book. Like, I really do. And I just keep hoping that we're going to get back in line. And that has nothing, I'm not saying that this issue was bad. This issue was actually really good. But the direction in which we're moving got me frustrated. Yeah. And I think in our conversation, to kind of give you guys the cliff notes, issues 1 through 25 of Avengers for Jason Aaron was phenomenal. I mean, it got us hooked. We both bought 25 issues like in bulk and read them, and we were like, oh, yeah. Then the pandemic hits, right? And things get pushed back, and suddenly we jump into Khonshu, the Fist of Khonshu arc, which was like, wait, what? Because previously we had left off with the, damn it, you said the name of them, the characters that take over in Heroes Reborn. Squadron Supreme in Coulson are kind of introduced as this new story arc, right? And it's not, like, we got left off there, and then we got pushed into the Fist of Khonshu, and we completely left that storyline floating. And baby alert. And it felt like somebody in editorial just kind of said, let's go in this direction. We're not ready to move forward. And we'll never know what the behind the scenes of that is, of why the Heroes Reborn arc got pushed off and then put into its own event. I'm assuming it's because they wanted to do tie-ins and they weren't ready. Great. But I think that moment in this comic series completely derailed it, because now we're jumping into this, we just finished an arc. What was the previous arc that we were doing? The Eternals were invading. No. Did they do that in this book, or was that in Eternals?
It was in Eternals.
What was the previous arc? We've been floating.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was, we were dealing with what's going on in Avengers Forever, but within the 616 timeline. That's right.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
so, like, now we're jumping back to Heroes Reborn, essentially, in this book, because the entire arc has been, the entire storyline, the one common thread that has been present in all of Aaron's run has been Mephisto trying to regain control of everything. But his involvement in every arc has been either very big or very small, and it's not consistent. And it's bothering the shit out of me. So now we have this issue that's really good and feels like it's directly correlated to Heroes Reborn and issue 25. but it's 55. We're at 55. You know, we're at 30 issues past that, and it's like, did I do my math there right? I think I did. It's frustrating. That being said, this was a good issue. That splash page with Mephisto kind of finally making his presence known once and for all for the 616 Avengers, I thought was really cool. And I didn't think I'd say this, but I actually like Nighthawk. I like Nighthawk being part of the Avengers team. And I didn't know much about him before Heroes Reborn, but I genuinely like him being introduced as an Avenger to what it feels like we're kind of starting to get ready to wrap up Jason Aaron's Avengers run. But then Nate goes and says, do you think Marvel's going to push him to 100 issues? God damn it, yes they are. They're going to do it.
I don't think we're ending anytime soon, especially because this issue was for all intents and purposes, was a reordering of the team too. They finally addressed T'Challa leaving, or like stepping down from being the chair, which happened in like the first issue of his book a couple months ago.
Right.
So that's officially acknowledged here, and then finally recognizing Valkyrie and Namor as sitting active members. So the team looks different. Like the team is not the same. This is not the classic Aaron team now.
No. And then I think the other thing, and it's something that we're making the assumption of, but we read the solicitations and it's like, yeah, but everything that Jason Aaron's writing up to Judgment Day doesn't feel like it's connected to Judgment Day. Yep. And we kind of made that observation in July's solicitations, which should be dropping fairly soon. It's been processing forever all day today. But it just doesn't look like he's dealing with the Judgment Day stuff in his book. And it's like, well then, why are the event, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of like outside stuff that's skewing my this book, and I guess I need to just like lay off of it and just enjoy the book, which I genuinely did like this issue. But I want it to feel like the first 25 issues, and I feel like we're just floating between arcs with very little connectivity. Stefan goes, I enjoy most of everything about this run other than the Baby Star brand and the 10 million BC stuff. We talk about that in our Marvel solicitations for July, so check it out when it hits. But overall, this was good. And Joseph's a solid issue, but I don't know much about Nighthawk. The cliffhanger seems intense. Looking forward to what happens next. No doubt. I want there to be more connectivity. And I feel like we had that in the first 25, and then the pandemic hit, and then we were just strung. And it feels like we're placing a puzzle back together, but all the pieces were released at different times, when you should be just like, here's the next piece, here's the next piece, here's the next piece. And it's more like, no, let's go here, and then that piece is going to be over here. And you're like, wait, no, it goes here. So it just feels very disjointed. But as an individual issue, and if you know what's going on, it's pretty good.
Yep.
So. Oh, wrong button. Next up, we have Hulk, issue number 6. The Titan emerges. 99 says, dying to know if Hulk is good. So I'm not going to say anything. You tell me.
No. I would imagine that if you are like me and have had a problem with Hulk up to this point, this issue didn't do anything for you either. I still don't understand what the fuck is going on here. Like, I do in a nutshell, at the most basic level, Hulk, or Bruce Banner, our Bruce Banner, is having a conscious break and almost loses control to the Hulk, but then at the last minute doesn't, and saves the day of this alternate universe from a big giant gamma bomb. But because of it, he gets sucked out into an unknown place in space, and then boom, there's the Thor hammer out of nowhere. Completely just a 180, has nothing to do with this story. It was just like, all right, we're done now, we gotta move on. And that was it.
Okay.
All the other stuff in the middle, didn't care about. It was just boring, and I didn't care. Didn't care about the art is great. The art is super great. It's really fun. But like this Titan thing, like, this is what we were excited about. That's already gone. Like, we're already done. It was there for 2 pages. And then we're like, nah, that's whatever. It's fine.
99. Just wait. Okay, so
That's my take.
yeah, then that's
I don't think I am the appropriate reviewer for someone that likes this book, though. So now you.
well, no, I genuinely like the book. I think it has some faults. I actually liked issue 6 a lot. In the end, I was like, wait, I'm with you on the end. When the hammer shows up, I'm like, what? Hey, you know, and I get it. We're going into like a mini event, but it totally throws off whatever momentum this book had, right? So let's go back to the center of the book, which is I genuinely liked if there's the best way for me to describe it in my version of how I liked it, or you know, my perspective is this felt like the most Donnie book of this run currently. Outside of issue 0 and 1, Free Comic Book Day and issue 1 felt very Donnie, and then I felt like we were kind of floating in this like, what are we doing here? I don't quite have shape of my concept. And then we got to this, and I was like, this feels like Donnie Cates. Like, it felt like a genuine Donnie Cates book. With the, you know, every Hulk, you know, everybody's got a Hulk. Why can't Hulk have a Hulk out moment, right? And I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. Like, I genuinely like that idea. And that's what the Titan Hulk is, which is Hulk's Hulk. Which is really weird to say, but that's the idea. And then the Betty, like her, like, and this is all Ryan Otley, but her like transforming and like being this scary kind of image I thought was really neat. And then seeing Banner, you know, succeed, but he's on the other side of the door, and like he has this moment to connect with Hulk, right? Hulk's even like, fuck, we're done. Like, we're finally done. Let's get back to what we know what to do. Like, let's not do this again. And Banner's like, nah, I'm out. Like, I got stuff to do. I gotta continue to do what I'm doing. And leaves Hulk in the room, in the chaos room of his subconscious. And Otley, I think, did a great job of showing the robotics and armor and technology coming out of Hulk's body and reforming, so Spaceship Hulk regenerates. I thought that was really cool. And them saving the day with the gamma bomb. But the end result, the last page, I was kind of like, I'm with you. Like, and I'm sure we're gonna get an explanation of what's going on, right? You know, Hulk saw within the Bifrost that this, you know, whatever, you know, like that's what's gonna happen. But it did feel like completely out of left field. Like suddenly we're going, like you said, moving on to the next arc. Let's go. Time to move. And it's like, no, we just got all this hype for Titan Hulk, and now we won't get it for 2 issues, right? Because we have to assume it's gonna come back. There's no way that it's just gone, that we're never gonna see it again. I think we will.
Maybe.
But that's me. 99. Damn it. Hey, what? Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything constructive to add. I don't know. I think I'm done after the Banner War just because it all ties together. But
okay, that's good. That's fine. That's good. I thought you were gonna stick on until Otley was off, which he's got 12 issues, then he's done. You gotta stay for that at least. Okay.
Really good.
You're hangry. Anyway, just as I can hear, what's that? Orpho saying, "You get a Hulk." Oh yeah, you get a Hulk. Oprah. I'm sorry. You get a Hulk. You get a Hulk.
You get a Hulk.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Grayson says, I liked all the run so far, but I will admit it's starting to feel a little clunky. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like the run. It feels like a good knucking foot's time. I like that, Joe. The next arc setup seems like a weird video side mission or event that activates in the middle of your main quest. I totally agree with that assessment, Stefan. So in speculation terms, was Titan overhyped? Not worth focusing on collecting for future return on investment.
There's nothing there.
As of now, there's nothing there. But you know, we could
I
you were
feel
to
very confident saying
Okay.
there's 100.
You're saying confident. If you were to compare it to like Null, yeah, it's not even an ounce like as the Null drop, or even the Black Winter. But again,
Yeah,
you never know with Donnie. It might be the one thing that just at the end of it, you'd be like, oh, I need to go reread. Oh, that's who knows? I don't know, but I will leave it up in the air. Nate's swatting it down, and that's fine. That's why we have the show. That's what we do.
Yeah, not
Right.
always on the same page.
I think this is our last Marvel book, I believe.
It
Yes.
is.
So we got Shang-Chi, issue number 11. Sister Hammer joins the fight. This cover is misleading. She's missing her hand. But Shang-Chi has created a gauntlet that manifests whatever weapon she wants. And obviously it's a hammer. So she is swinging a cosmic magical hammer fist, which is pretty cool in this issue. And essentially we find out that Shang-Chi's grandfather is just a complete douchebag and is doing whatever he can to kill the bloodline of Shang-Chi from his father. And he'll do whatever he can. And so he creates this new weapon. Now, previous in this issue, he would create these dragons, like lion dragons, that would only go after the person that they ingested their blood. And so he's created an even deeper magic where it's called I can't remember the name of the mask, but he creates a deeper magic for the dragon and himself. And so when they put the mask on, they kind of Hulk out and just get even more powerful. So that's happening in this issue. And then Shang-Chi and his family essentially get into To Lao, and the Jade Emperor, who looks awfully like Guan Yu, who, if any of you know the Three Dynasties history of China, right as the Han Dynasty, this is like legit history, right as the Han, shut up, as long as the Han Dynasty was falling, there was a period in China, kind of like in Japan, but like thousands of years prior, where there were essentially three kingdoms, if you will, fighting for the supremacy of China. And so you had Shu, Wu, and Wei. And in Shu, there was a figure or a person named Guan Yu, who is later described in like Chinese mythology as the god of war. And so the Jade Emperor looks awfully like Guan Yu in this book, which is like a very tall man with a big, long black beard. He has like a spear, halberd kind of weapon. But in this book, he has the 10 rings. He is in possession of the 10 rings. And so as he shows up and essentially is like, who let these mortals into my realm? Oh, Shang-Chi's grandfather failed. That's his job, is to make sure that no mortals come in here. So the Jade Emperor essentially imprisons Shang-Chi and his family, and then asks for the grandfather's audience, for him. And he ends up basically saying, "You failed. I never wanted mortals outside of y'all in this realm. I banish you." And he's like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, no way, fam." He puts on the mask and hulks out and starts kicking the Jade Emperor's ass. While Shang-Chi is in prison, his father's ghost shows up and essentially is like, "The Jade Emperor has the 10 rings. I can show you how to get to him. That's the only way you're going to save the family." And Shang is like, "I don't want to be evil. I don't want to do that." And then it gets to the point where he has to, and the book ends with him having the 10 rings. Like, he has possession of the rings. He's doing the whole like, woo, and they're all floating, and then they're on his wrists or on his forearms. So we are moving and inching closer to the reset of Shang-Chi and the 10 rings from this book. But for me, seeing Guan Yu, which I played Dynasty Warriors, like every time there's a new Dynasty Warriors game, I play it. He's one of my favorite characters, and historically, he's a very cool persona. I mean, he's a cool guy that ended up. I don't want to get into it. I could go into the history of the character of that person specifically, but it's really cool to see him in comics. So I thought it was a good read. I'm going to continue to read. I'm digging this run. It just feels like we're moving closer to the movie and the comics being one. So diggity dope. All right, we're gonna go into some of the. Well, we don't have any comments, so let's wait for Nate to get back because the next book is pivotal for him. But did anyone else read any other Marvel books that we did not cover, or was your Marvel pool looking a lot like ours? Going back to Hulk, I really liked it. It was almost my pick of the week until another book came out, and the only reason why it was almost my pick of the week was because it just felt like such a Donny Cates book. Like, genuinely, it felt like Donny had hit his stride in the sense of reveals. Now, am I disappointed that, and we go back to it so that we're looking at it, am I disappointed that Titan literally was like 2 pages? Yes. But I do believe that he will be back in some form or fashion. No, I think he's going to be pivotal, to be honest. I think we've got a character that will be back in full stride that I don't know how you're going to deal with it. Joe, speaking of DC, you guys doing a video on Ramby taking over Detective Comics? We want to. We just kind of ran out of time this past week, but we will. We'll definitely do a video on that, because we don't usually do DC solicitations, just because we have so little. We don't have as many books that we're reading from DC, so we don't feel like we can cover the solicitations of DC that well. So we are planning on doing a video about Ramby taking over for Detective Comics. And Grayson, did you pick up Captain America Zero? I did not.
I didn't either, but I am hearing that maybe I should.
Did we mess up?
Yeah, I mean, y'all tell us if you think it was worth it. I had no issue with any of the creators that are on there. As a matter of fact, RB Silva being on the book is a big draw for me. I don't care about Captain America as a character at all. I don't. It's not my cup of tea. But
So we gotta go get it.
But of the art, yeah. See,
there's a Peach Momoko cover. I know there's a Peach Momoko cover that looks sick.
All right.
So
well, we might have to just keep an eye out at the shop then and see.
Yeah.
Damn it, guys. Sorry, we dropped the ball on that one.
We fucked up. Okay. All right, let's jump into DC, and we're going to kick it off with World's Finest, issue number 2, Batman and Superman, Day of the Doom Patrol.
Do the thing.
That's Nate's pick of the week.
Why?
I have not had someone so quickly jump into like my top 10-ish artists so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if Dan Moore's just been around and I've missed him, or if he's just newer and whatever, but like all of a sudden Dan Moore was just like, here it is, and I'm like, yes, okay.
Well, we had him in Detective Comics, and I was like, man, this felt great.
Yeah. In Detective Comics, I was just like, man, this is nice. And then I saw a couple of covers of his just with variants, and I was like, damn, this is the guy that was in Detective. I want him back. And then it's like, well, he's going to World's Finest. And I was like, I don't care about that. And then, of course, now here we are. And the story's great. The art is amazing. Patty already used the term, but he summed it up best for me. This was just a silly goose fun time. I really enjoyed. I feel like I am getting a really intricate story that's surface level and background. We've got the everyday characters, Poison Ivy, Brainy, Bizarro, or whatever the heck the first guy was, and then now this like magician dude, who are like our surface level villains, but we've got this bigger villain in the background that's going to be overall overarching the whole story arc, and I really like that. I like the depth of the story. I like that we're getting peripheral characters involved. We've got Supergirl and Robin involved here. Oh, by the way, DC vets, tell us what's going on between Supergirl and Robin.
Yeah,
We have no idea what that little like cold shoulder fight.
And I want to know.
About.
Like, I want to know bad. Like, it's like everybody knows the secret but you, and right, and it shows in a comic, and you're like, but what's going on? I want to know.
Yeah. But like, yeah, this to me, this issue was a lot of fun. I feel like I got a ton of story in the normal amount of pages. I feel like the art was fantastic. And then it, it does the one thing that I want to do, is it makes me want to search more. Like, it's like, oh, there's this history between Supergirl and Robin that I don't know about. Now I want to know about that. So Yeah, I thought it was wonderful.
I agree with you too. I agree with everything, and it was gonna be my pick of the week until the book that I picked for my pick of the week. But this was a good. Everything you just said is exactly. I feel the same way, and it also feels like it's just nonstop, right? Like it feels like we're just pushing and pushing and pushing the story. Where and I'm not saying in a bad way, right? Like I'm like, God, will it ever let up? No, I don't want it to. I want to I don't ever want to be in a dull moment in this book, and I feel like the artwork is on just pace, the writing is fantastic, the coloring is fantastic. This book feels good. Like even in your hands, like reading it, like I would hate to read this digitally. I want it in my hands. You know, like I know we can go back to that. Like this is the full circle feeling that we got when we first started getting into comics, Nate. Like we were, oh, this is so badass. I can't believe we never really were into this, you know. And it was all because we wanted to get some D&D dice for a beer that we wanted to make. Like, you know, it's just this is it. This is the definition of a silly goose time.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is when I can get a dose of characters I don't know in a context that is both understandable but also intriguing. That's the true definition, I think, of utilizing peripheral characters. Because like I don't know a damn thing about the Doom Patrol. Like I literally I just read this comic today and I already cannot tell you any of those characters' names on the front. Like, I just don't know who they are, but I want to. Like I want to know. And so now I want to go read the freaking Grant Morrison run just because it's Grant Morrison and he had a good run on it. So now I just want to go read that and see like what these characters are about.
But Joe, you're asking if it's a mini. I don't think it is. I think it's
I don't think it is either.
It's a current ongoing, which it better DMB. I want more. Moira, if you're watching, don't leave this goddamn book. Like, please don't. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna piss some people off. Wait, hold on. Basically, the X-Men of DC back in the day. Yep. I don't know if Moira has a exclusive deal with DC.
I don't know either.
But I'd love to see him on an X-Men book. Okay, anyway, but then that would take him away from this, and that I just contradicted myself.
Yeah, come on, man.
Joe also goes, I usually wait on trade or wait till it goes on app to read Elseworld stories, but with all the hype over this book, I want and picked up the first 2 issues. Good call there, Joe. It's a good read.
Also, Patty said this earlier. Yeah, this is by far my favorite Batsuit, hands down.
Yeah,
none. The blue with the yellow with the utility belt.
Yeah.
Yup. This is my favorite Batsuit, and it doesn't even come close.
And also, again, we'll throw the question out again. What is up with Supergirl and Robin in this book, which is is Grayson, right? Dick Grayson?
I don't remember.
She says Grayson.
Does she?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't remember.
And then someone says, I didn't know Supergirl could travel through time. It was nuts. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like, I need context, and I like that. I'm not upset about the fact that I don't know what the hell's going on between those two. But if Kwiku, if you watch this as a past episode and let us know in the comments. Let us know what is going on here, because
something just built into this story too.
Maybe we'll get it later.
Yeah.
I dug it. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Is there tension? Is it just weird friend tension, or is there something going on between these two? Like, what's up? I liked it. All right. Next up, we have Nice House on the Lake. Book number 8 or issue number 8. This is my pick of the week.
That's Jim's pick of the week.
Yeah, so I liked this book, obviously, but I remember very well that we had a reset in issue 7 or even issue 6, I think. where Walter has reset the house, has reset everybody's memories except one person. I don't exactly know why that person has not been reset. Either they're mentally they are so strong that they can get over it. I don't know, or if he's doing it as an experiment. But everybody's mind has been altered. They don't remember Walter being a crazy ghost alien. And so in this book, he's continuing the facade with this group, right? But we're seeing another character who didn't get reset being able to watch everybody's interactions. And she's slowly calling out his game. They talk after he's had these interactions because everybody in the house is coming back to the same conclusion. Like they're inching closer to not accepting this false reality that they're living in. And Walter doesn't know how to keep them in this just perfectly safe little bubble where nobody questions anything and just wants to live, like in harmony. And like, who cares that the rest of the world is burning? Like, we're just going to live in harmony and we're going to farm and create things and just live our life on this nice house on the lake. And when he comes to the realization that this group of people are just going to, it's just what's the term, Nate, where it repeats itself no matter what. Like, you always come to the same conclusion. There's a term. There's a lot of movies that are based off of that too.
Like Groundhog's Day.
Kind of, but like no matter how you reset and change whatever you can so that you can find a different outcome, you always come to the same outcome. Again, it may be a different path to it, but you always come back to that specific outcome. Mm-hmm. So he goes and talks to that individual that's not been reset, and she basically calls him out and says, like, no matter what you do, these people are always going to continue to want to leave, want to question, want to go back to their normal lives, and calls bullshit on him. And he loses his shit, kind of turns into the ghost again. He's like, I saved you, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, just reset him again then. And we have the interesting thing about this comic that I liked was our first original character, our first character that we were introduced, the artist, right? When the reset happened, we got introduced to a new character who also filled in the role as the artist. And we get a little bit of not motivation, but just a little insight into Walter, where now he's no longer really paying attention to our first main character. He's giving all the attention to the other character that's now the artist in the group, that he's just giving that character more attention. It's like, is she going to get phased out? Is she going to get kicked out of the house? And she even calls it out. She's like, we both have the same symbol. What the fuck? But he's like paying no attention to me. And he's giving you all the attention. So I think we're about to build to this like really weird status for her. And then she goes on a walk because she's freaking out. And she finds, this house where this other individual is being trapped or prisoned, but she doesn't know it. And they make contact. And it was the creepiest fucking thing. Like, the visuals was awesome. Her communicating with that said person in the wall was really cool. And I loved how, like, because you know me, Nate, like I'll get our books and I'll flip to the back because I want to spoil it for myself because I don't care.
Of course.
And I remember seeing that last page and I thought it was a Roman numeral 3.
Yeah.
Right? I thought it was the 3, but it's actually the word high.
Hi.
And so when I read the issue and got to that part, I was like, and like I closed the book. Like and I read it right before the show, and I was like, oh my God, that freaked me the fuck out. I like it. I feel like Tinian's finally starting to get back on track. Like, okay, we're going to get out. We're going to get out of this bubble, and we're going to find out why everybody is in this post-apocalyptic world, and what are they going to do? Are they fucked? Are they eternally fucked? Mm-hmm. Or will they figure it out? I don't know, and I'm digging it.
Yeah, I feel very much the same way. I mean, I was a little I'm still a little like fuzzy-headed with the first arc of this, and so it took me a minute to remember like what the hell's going on, why are we talking to Walter, like it's NBD, and then I was like, okay, yeah. So I need a little bit of a refresher, but the themes that were introduced in this book were really good, and I continue to feel like, yeah, this is just another one of Tinian's original stories, just showing how much of a good storyteller he is.
I can see this being like Warner Brothers picking this up to be on HBO Max, like either a miniseries or a series of movies, but mainly a show. I think this would totally work.
Yeah, well, and to Bueno's credit, the art in this book is very cinematic.
No, it's really good.
It's Stefan asked if this is a 10 or a 12 issue series. Good question. It was originally solicited as 10, and then when it actually came out, they said 12. Terribly unfun fact, we only have a solicitation for issue 9. We don't have a solicitation after that. Which issue 9 is supposed to come out in May. We have June and July solicitations for DC, and we ain't got no issue 10 in either one of them. Even scarier, if you go to the League of Comic Geeks collection for Trade Volume 2, it only says that it includes issues 7, 8, and 9.
What the heck?
But it doesn't say that it's the end of the series. So I don't know what's going on with this book.
Well, no, did they ruin it or did Tinian ruin it? Is he just out and he's like, I'm done with DC?
No, I don't. I think there's probably just a delay on something.
Paper?
And no. You would get solicited by that. I think there's probably a writing or an art delay, and we just haven't. We're just gonna not address. I don't think DC is gonna address it till they have to. Basically,
jerks.
We'll
My
see.
pick of the week. My pick of the week. It was great. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, Joe said, "Is this DC trying to act like they can make an indie book?" And in a way, yes. I don't think Tinian ever came out and said exactly how DC acquired this book. From my understanding, though, he basically alluded that he was under contract for a certain amount of titles, and in order for him to get out of his contract quicker, he proposed this to them instead of keeping it on a creator-owned publisher. And DC was just like, yeah, totally. Because I don't know if you've noticed, DC is trying to start. They're trying to move towards like a horror-centric, Black Label, Vertigo-ish sort of direction again. A lot of these like WB movies are getting mini-series tie-ins and stuff like that to actual horror movies that are coming out. So I think that when they saw this, they were like, oh yeah, this can be our front piece to that little horror mix-up we're trying to do with Black Label.
What did some said? Joe says he need to catch up on this book. I agree. It's a very good book. Like issues 1 and 2. Well, issue 1 is like the hook of all hooks. It was both our picks of the week when it came out. It was really good. I
feel like maybe I fear-mongered there a little too much. I wouldn't worry about this not getting finished. Especially because when they took the hiatus, everyone was like, oh my god, like, are y'all coming back for the rest? And Tinian was like, it's written. We're just like letting publishing catch up and letting Bueno make sure he can devote the amount of time that he wanted. But he also said before issue 1 was ever published, he said there's a 3-month break in between issue 6 and 7. Literally before the first issue even came out. Which you would hope that would have been enough that we wouldn't have a question like we do now, but apparently something's going on.
Is what it is, yeah. I feel like when that happened, when we saw the break in the solicitations, that was right around the same time that Tinian announced that he was no longer on Batman and that he was only doing like up to issue 14 on Joker. So all of his books were up in the air. And then it was like, no, wait, I'm doing Vampires versus DC. And we were like, why? Who cares?
Well, I mean,
anyway.
You still got that other book that's just about to start coming out too. That's in the Sandman series.
Sandman, yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. Anyway, that's my pick of the week. Let's get to our last book. Nightwing, issue 91. Flash, still in it. I was not impressed. I don't know. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like the rest of the series, and I don't know if that's because of the artwork or if I just feel like Flash is kind of like, I get that they're pals and that he's never gonna let Nightwing like
to trigger our whole fan base here, just so you know.
You are or I am.
You are. This is a whole group of Wally West stands, man.
I understand. Then maybe you
Jamie's
should go
through the screen and cut you.
I want to get back to Heartless.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, I do understand that for sure. But we have
like, I get it. You're friends and you're saving his life. I totally get that. I feel like we accomplished that in the previous issue, and it's not just. Well, no. In the sense that he's taking care of him, and I get that you have to finish the arc. I just don't fucking care. I want Heartless. Like I want that.
Well, what's up, Michael? Better late than never. And I will say that your perceptions and anticipations of the story made you give an unfair assessment of this book.
Okay, that's fine.
I thought the buddy here was great. I thought the classic Tom Taylor humor was here. Once again, having a conversation about how the Flash is going to carry Dick.
Okay,
whenever they run really fast.
I did like that, and it's a nice callback to like, oh yeah, I made that joke before. I get it, but like
Tom's subtle hint to previous continuity, even though it's a storyline that's really hated, I think that is very great as well. My favorite part was Flash basically like being bros with Nightwing and being like, dude, like having a family and a wife and stuff while we're superheroes, it's just hard. We're being superheroes hard. You should do it. You should do that family life with Babs. You already got the dog. You're already hanging out. Just do it. I thought that was a really. I like the behind the scenes stuff. Besides just the yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have talked so much shit. This was a good issue, wasn't it?
I'm not saying it wasn't a good issue. It's just I'm ready to.
I'm sorry, Jaden. I'm trying.
God damn it! I just feel like we lingered a little bit.
No,
I just feel like we're lingering too long. We're lingering, okay? Like I want, like, Nightwing went and fucked around in Superman's book. Okay, great. Right? Like when are we gonna? Oh, hey, you need to go read Flash because he's over in Flash's book. No, stay in Nightwing. Let's get moving. Like, yeah, I want Babs and Nightwing and them to move on forward. I want to see that. And I'm not saying this was a bad issue. I'm just ready for, I feel like Tom Taylor has stalled for, I want to say 3 issues. It's felt like that. Maybe, yeah, 3, because it's like we're having a divorce or something. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
God, if I tell you that Heartless is on the cover of the next issue, will you chill
Is he,
out?
are you
I'm being dead serious. He is on the cover of the next issue.
Good.
Like everyone is on the cover of the next issue, but he's also.
Okay. Oh, Jaden, I agree, Jim. They're dragging it from Jaden.
Oh man.
Our admin.
I guess he's not the Wally West stan I thought he was.
It sounds like you're projecting.
Oh, I guess so. I didn't realize that you hated Tom Taylor's Nightwing.
It's
so much.
not that I hate it.
You
I
should just stop the book by this point. Honestly, like I don't.
Stop putting words in my mouth.
You're inflating the sales at this point. You're just, you know.
Okay, let's get.
Joe says, which one would you pick, Cradle or Piggyback? I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I'd pick Cradle because
I would too.
When was the last time, as a grown man, you were held in a cradle position?
I agree. Like, and for us, like, we're big dudes. Like, you'd have to be pretty big to pick us up. So I would do Cradle too. I don't know what that says about me, but who gets what half of the subscribers?
Oh, yeah.
I call Jaden. Anyway,
wow, just because he agrees with you. I'm not good. I don't choose my children. They're all.
Anyway, I mean, it wasn't bad. I just, when I got done reading it, I didn't feel like any of the other Tom Taylor Nightwing issues. It just felt kind of meh. Like it felt filler, even though there were genuine moments in the book between Wally West and Dick. Like I feel like we need to, like, there are things that I want to know about that we're not getting to, so let's get to it. Jaden, my man. That's right. Anyway, All right, well, that's going to do it for issue 85, episode 85 of Two Fat Guys Pulls. Thank you, everybody that was here watching live and joining us in chat. Anyone that's watching this as a previous episode, thank you as well for watching this and giving some of your time to listen to us talk about comics and who's going to get the children in the divorce. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Let us know again what your pick of the week was. As always, hit that subscribe button. Click that bell. Give us a like. We'll see you guys on New Comic Book Day this week. Our Marvel solicitations book for July 2022 literally dropped in the middle of this live because it's been processing all day and it finally hit. So go over there and watch that and let us know, watch what we think, and then let us know if we missed anything on that one as well. We do talk about some cool stuff over there. And get ready for Free Comic Book Day. We are coming out with a top 5 Free Comic Book Day video, at least 5 books you need to pick up on Free Comic Book Day. You should probably pick them all up, but we're going to talk about the 5 that you absolutely have to pick up. So that's coming next week, not this week, but next week, right before Free Comic Book Day. And we love you guys. We love to see you here. We appreciate y'all's support. And as always, read more comics, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a good night, and y'all stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.